Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively uplevel your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome to a special episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast, where I am highlighting and sharing one of my amazing Rich Babe Academy students, Carly Eldred from Ambition Babes. I recently spent an entire day with Carly in LA as part of a VIP day giveaway that I gifted to the best Rich Babe Academy transformation of January 2019. Carly is such an amazing soul. She's bubbly, full of joy, and has a ton of wisdom to share. In this episode, I will be chatting with Carly, asking her some questions about what actually transformed in her life since she decided to say yes to Rich Babe Academy. I hope it inspires you to join the next round of RBA that has just opened up and will be closing this Friday by midnight. You can find all the deets, investment options, and the enrollment link available at richbabeacademy.com, or simply see the link in the show notes. Again, this is the last round of Rich Babe Academy in 2019, so definitely check it out and enroll inside. Now, let's hear what Carly has to say. All right. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the Manifestation Babe podcast. I am so excited that you decided to tune in today's episode because I have another special guest today named Carly Eldred. Carly, how are you today?
I'm so good.
Good. So if you guys don't know who Carly is, she is actually one of my former Rich Babe Academy students from the January-February round of 2019. And she actually won the best Rich Babe Academy transformation and spent an entire day with me in LA. What was it, last week? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. It was incredible.
It was amazing. I absolutely loved hanging out with you. We spent an entire day together in LA. We got massages. We ate plenty of food and very bougie spots. We drove all around. We went to the beach in Malibu, and we just had a freaking blast. And some of you guys have been asking me to feature some of my students' stories. And I decided that it's time to finally bring on some of my best transformations from Manifestation Babe Academy, from Rich Babe Academy, and just show you guys that normal people just like you enroll into the courses. And I want to feature as many different stories as possible so that you guys can see that, yes, people just like you walk into a course for the very first time, or maybe this isn't even your first course. Maybe this is just another course to help you work on another area of life, but to see that everyone starts at different points, everyone works through different things, but I hope to highlight as many people as I can to show you that everybody in their own way has their own transformation. And hopefully it'll inspire you to come into one of my academies in the future. Thank you, Carly, so much for being my first student success story and essentially my test subject for today's podcast. I appreciate it so much.
And no problem. Happy to be your guinea pig.
Yay. So Carly, tell us a little bit about yourself because people don't necessarily know exactly who you are. So what do you do? Because when we talked in LA, you fascinated me, and the amount that you have accomplished and all the different things that you do and the niche that you were talking to me about that you were diving into for this year that really helped you. Rich Babe Academy really helped you with. So what is it that you do? What are you passionate about? Who are you? Tell us all the things.
Yay. Yeah. So I'm Carly. I'm from Cranbrook, BC, Canada. So a very small little town. Just goes to show that, like, no matter where you are, you can connect to amazing people and do incredible things. So yeah, small town. I have a degree in social work, but I actually was able to leave that career, even though I loved it so much. I loved helping people. I knew that I could connect in the online space and help people in another way. And I'm married to an amazing man, have two beautiful little boys. They're so cute. And we actually were in the same health and fitness MLM years ago. We found out Catherine and I were like at the same like big event 2 years in a row, but we didn't know each other,
We
obviously.
literally, you guys, when we talked at the spa, I remember we had the exact same timeline around that MLM company. And we were literally at the exact same events, but never met each other until RBA.
Yeah, it was like our paths were meant to, come together at some point. So that was really cool for sure. And so that didn't really quite align with me, but I knew that online world was where it was at. And yeah, I ended up getting into a very successful online business marketing myself, and it was incredible. But I started noticing a lot of areas that people would say rise to success and have large teams and whatnot. I wasn't doing an MLM, but it was, in the industry, a lot of people don't have the leadership skills. There's basic leadership kind of work that people do, but I really saw the gap. And my business partner, Allie, shout out, she's amazing. We wanted to launch a new company, and it was right around the time when I did Rich Babe. And I'm telling you, it gave me the clarity that I needed to take this next big step to do another business and have it just as successful.
That is amazing. So take me right before you enrolled into Rich Babe Academy. What was life like, and what was it that inspired you to get into the academy? Because for most people, it's like, obviously they want to manifest more money, and everyone's starting from a different point. I have people who come in who are already extremely successful, but are just trying to get to the next level. They still have this fear around money. Like I often joke that until you work on this internal state of certainty, you will, no matter what, constantly have this fear around money, where at first you have a fear of failure, right? Like, what if it doesn't work? What if this is a waste of time? But when you actually have it, if you haven't done the inner work, you're going to constantly be in a fear of losing it. Like, oh my God, what if it's not forever? What if I lose it? What if I make a mistake? What if, and they just get so tied up into all of their limiting beliefs that prevent them from taking that next step, whatever that next step was. So take us to right before Rich Babe Academy. What really inspired you to enroll into it? What was life like at the moment? What was your mindset like? What was holding you back at that time? What was your inspiration for enrolling?
Yeah, I was exactly like that second option. Oh, and I'm looking at the clock right now. It's 11:11. That's too cool.
Yay.
So yeah. So for me, I had never struggled necessarily with money. I had created multiple six figures in the affiliate marketing world. But I was, like you said, I was so afraid of always losing it. I like to say I'm thrifty. I don't like to say that I'm cheap necessarily, but I'm thrifty. But I think subconsciously, and I really went deep within your course and found out the roots of why I was like that. But I feel like I was just stuck in this place where even it didn't matter how much money was in my bank account, how many large months I was having. I was just always afraid that this wasn't going to last. Even though I'd been successful for quite a few years now, I was just like, oh, and I could never imagine taking another big leap and starting another, secondary business. That was like out of the question. Like it was definitely frightful. And I just didn't have that much of the faith in that long-term vision of being sustainable. And yeah, like my ego, and we learned a lot about, the ego and your higher voice. And I won't get into it because, oh my gosh, it is incredible. That was just like mind blowing when I went through the exercises in your course. And I've actually done a lot of different courses, and I've gone to different events and whatnot. So I feel like personal development stuff, this wasn't new to me, but at the same time, the way that you laid it out and the exercises that you got us to do were so powerful. And I finally was able to crack through some of those limiting beliefs that I'd held for so long. Because before I went into this course, I remember talking to my husband and I was like, oh, should I do it? And like, I don't know. And he was like, I guess. Like, he was actually pretty supportive. And So yeah, I dove into it, even though I was scared, because money is an area where I feel tight-lipped. Like no matter how
Mhm.
much money I have, it's just like, don't take anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes, I totally know what you mean. And it's something that even I, to this point, that's what I currently work on when it comes to money mindset, is how can I expand even more beyond where I am? And I realize that the work really never ends. And that's why I make the academy open for, you get lifetime access for a reason, because as you transform and as you evolve, you need to come back to the basics, and the basics can be applied to any level, whether you are brand new to wealth consciousness, or as Carly and I, we've been doing this is not our first rodeo with personal development and personal growth, but it still can help us, because it really is about letting your ego go, because your ego wants to tell you, oh, I already know this, already read a book on it, already heard it. But do you really know until you are living it? So if something is still holding you back on any level, like in any area of life, that means that there's still something that you don't yet know. And your higher self is leading you to the answer. And as long as you don't allow your ego to be bigger than your higher self, then you will actually take on the solution that your higher self is leading you to. So, Carly, I'm just super curious, what were some of the limiting beliefs that you discovered in Rich Babe? Like, what was it really, even as simple as it might sound, or maybe it's a complex thing, but what was it that you believe was holding you back from starting this next business? Or what were some of your limiting beliefs around money that you discovered?
Oh, so many. And it's funny because coming into it, I didn't actually realize that I had that many issues with money. I was like, well, I've never really struggled. I'm successful. So like clearly I have a pretty good relationship with money. But when I broke it down, I actually did not. And I was doing a lot of things that were holding me back from new opportunities and bringing more money into my life. And so I had a very negative opinion about money, and how that there's only so much to go around. There's only so much success to go around. And yeah, like you have to work hard and hustle your butt off in order to ever be successful. And I've been learning just so much about letting go and accepting things into my life, and knowing that life is happening for me. And I was always a believer in manifestation, but it was so crazy. Like, that's what I mean by getting into this. I thought I knew a lot and I was in an okay place. I thought, do I even want to take the time and energy to go into this course? Like, how is it actually going to help me? Like, I'm successful. Like, is this going to help me even? Like, is this going to be a waste? It was 100% not. Like, it's just crazy to think how my energy has changed around money and how much more respect and care and love I have for it. It sounds so funny, but it's so true. The littlest things that I did made such an impact.
That is amazing. I'm curious, when did you notice a shift starting to happen inside of the course? Like, when did you start to have your first light bulb moment where you were like, oh my God, this is actually working? Because I've watched your transformation video at least 6 times. And with every, like, you have, and I'll share this, I'll actually link this in the show notes. You guys have to go watch it, where it's like Carly sharing like, oh my God, you guys, I just enrolled, and holy crap, even after week 1, I'm already seeing changes. And then week 3, it's like the inner light within you is just growing and growing and growing, and your eyes are getting wider. And it just made my heart like melt just watching it. When was that moment for you? Or maybe you don't remember, but like, when did you start to realize maybe there's something in your external reality that started to shift immediately? Or maybe the way that you felt around money, or maybe you felt like the burden came off your shoulder. Like, did you have a moment like that at any point in the course?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when you were taking us through, I think it was week 1 for sure, when you're taking us through the hypnosis, and because I really loved, you just have such a great voice for it too. So like, I was like, I would like fall asleep because it was like so soothing, but I was like, yeah, I need to stay awake for this. And taking me through the hypnosis and going back to my roots and finding out where exactly these beliefs came from. Because you kind of have to know where you came from in order to know where you're at and where you're going. And so that in itself was just kind of like, wow, that's incredible. And week 2 was mind blowing. Like that really was my favorite week for sure. And it was just like, I remember messaging my business partner being like, oh my God, like everything's just cracked open. Like, I can't even believe this. This is so exciting. And I could just feel the fuel building, and I would get her excited, and I would go through little exercises with her because yeah, like right away I started seeing that shift, but I also implemented it. I took it seriously and, went through every exercise and engaged. And I feel like if you don't commit yourself to something, you're not going to see, the shifts that you're needing. And yeah, that was a big thing for me. And I literally started seeing money come into my life, like the exact amount I paid for the course. I received this random, like retirement check. I'm like, I'm even 30 and I'm getting a retirement check. This is so weird.
Why
and
not?
Yeah, in the first week of doing it, I was like, okay, like this is solidifying that this was the right decision. And as soon as you actually had announced that one of the students was going to be winning a trip with you to LA, I was like, that's 100% going to be me. I knew it, like right from the day you announced it. And it ended up being me, which was like, it was just so cool. And so many things came into my life throughout the course. Like we bought our dream property that I'd had on my vision board. Like it was so bizarre. Like so many things I was saying yes to. I was no longer feeling trapped by my ego. I thanked my ego for keeping me alive and doing its job for so long, but it needed to take a backseat, and me and my higher voice needed to take a front seat and start driving this beautiful life that I'm entitled to and I've worked so hard for. And yeah, life is just, it's crazy. I just feel like, honestly, it sounds so weird, but I feel like a different person.
That is freaking amazing. I remember when I got, through your video to week 6, and you're like, we just put in an offer for a dream rental property and this and that. And I'm just like, holy shit, that is so freaking amazing. And I love how you mentioned that you obviously put the work in, because this is the difference between, and I've been doing this program since June of 2017, and I've been perfecting it since June of 2017. And actually the last reiteration that created was the round that Carly was in, where I decided to update a couple modules, and I'm always making sure I'm putting in the most effective processes into the course. And I always tell students, and what I notice is that it's the students who do the damn work. Like first and foremost, watch the modules, do the homework, but then start living your life as the rich babe version of yourself. So in week 3 or 4, I talk about recreating that rich babe version of yourself, which is obviously the version of yourself who is already at the outcome. And you must first embody that energy in order to recreate your reality so that your reality matches that rich babe life. And, I call the program Rich Babe, but it's not really just about money. It has to do with improving your relationships, improving your relationship with yourself, giving yourself like breathing room in your life and freedom in your life where you're no longer tense and stressed because you're constantly worried about someone pulling the rug from underneath you. And it's about building a solid foundation in life where you have a sense of certainty, and you can start a business. You can start a second business. You can put an offer in on your rental property. You can receive random checks in the mail. Like all of these things are possible when you just let go of the how. You become the version of yourself who already has it, and you just take action. So you're actually acting as if. Carly, I love hearing about how your life has changed since the program. Is there anything else? We are currently, the program ran in January. We're currently in September, which is so crazy, you guys. We only have 3 months, not even 3 months left of the year. Like where did 2019 go? This is crazy. But what else has shifted for you? Because I've heard so many incredible stories, in your life on our VIP day. I know that you're running a live event in September. That's amazing. What else?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I took Rich Babe right around the same time we were launching this second company to really help with engaging, leaders and empowering them to build and scale their teams and find, loyal team members like ours. We had so much success with our teams, and not a lot of other people were having that. So we saw that gap and we wanted to help other people. And we launched this business, and it was just like, it feels like such the right fit. And we're still doing affiliate marketing, but this really is our passion project. And so we've got an event coming up in September in Kelowna, BC. We're so excited. It's so much more than just like a leadership event. We're really tapping into all the different areas of your life that you need to find that greatness within and step into that leader that you are, even if you don't have a team. Like, you are a leader. And so it was a huge step for us to do. We've got a course coming out in the fall, again, to help with teams to build and scale their engaged loyal teams. And it's so exciting. It feels surreal that so much has happened. I just feel like so much more confident and passionate about my life.
That is amazing. You guys, we're going to go ahead and link in that event. If you guys are curious about looking at what it is, if you guys live in BC, definitely go to Carly's event. She's absolutely amazing. If you need any help around leadership, around teams, because you guys, like, individual success, like success on your own, is not a real thing. There is a team behind every single person you see. There's no such thing as an empire built by a solopreneur. Like, everybody has to have a team. In the beginning, your team is your higher self and you, right? But then as you scale that and grow that, you need great people behind you. So we'll definitely link that in the show notes as well. Carly, I have 2 more questions for you. One is, I want you to pretend like you have a best friend who is struggling with money mindset, and you know that she really needs an academy like Rich Babe Academy, and she is going to be listening to this episode. Let's pretend she's listening right now and we're doing this live. And she's currently on the fence. Like, she's been on the sales page 600 times now. She just can't bring herself to enroll because she's sitting on the fence. She's not 100% sure about it. What would you say to her, want her to know about the program to bring her inside?
Yeah, well, honestly, you can't afford not to invest the time, money, and energy into something like this. Any doubts that you're having, that is your ego holding you back from, taking that extra risk in your life, that extra time out of your family, those kinds of things. Of course, this is going to be a time commitment, absolutely, but it's that short-term sacrifice for this long-term gain. I can't tell you how many little voices were telling me not to do this. And now that I'm, completed it and looking back months later, I feel so, so thankful that I did it, because it got me to do the work that was kind of right in front of my fingertips that I never really realized. And they were really quite simple concepts, but the way, the deepness that we went in through them, and the hypnosis that was offered, and all of the different tools that Catherine offered, the Q&A, like, it really was so supportive. The community was so engaging, and they were sharing their stories. It just made it every day proof that this isn't just working for me, it's working for the entire community. Like, I'm just one success story. And that was what was truly impressive, is that this course was designed for you to succeed if you go through it. Like, I can't express enough that you can't afford not to do this, because it's an area of your life that's so prevalent. We're always going to be thinking about money, but it goes so much deeper than money. Like, it helped me in so many different areas, but it starts with money, because money has so much of an effect on all of our lives. And we feel it holds us back from different things. And if you can let go of that, you really can tap into your truest, highest self, who has goals and visions for yourself that you never even realized, but it's within you. You just have to tap into that. And I would 100% recommend it for anyone just getting started. Like, if you've never done a personal development or course before, it's going to be mind blowing. I tell you what, if you've already done a whole bunch of stuff and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should invest in this, I do stuff all the time, like this kind of work, it is still going to be 100% valuable. If you put in that effort, you will see a huge shift in your life and your mindset and your energy and your relationships. Oh, it's just crazy. I could talk forever, but.
Well, you guys heard it from Carly. Carly, thank you so much for sharing your story. You've re-inspired me. I feel on fire. Like, I am so excited to go into another launch of RBA now. Like, this is so amazing. I can't wait to meet many more of you who have similar transformation stories or different transformation stories. Carly, where can my peeps find you? Where can they stalk you? Where can they learn more about you? And I know we mentioned the event, so we're going to go ahead and link that, but where else can people learn more about you?
Yeah, so it's pretty easy on Facebook. You can just look up Ambition Babes. That's our new
Yes.
company. Yeah. Also on Instagram, super simple. It's just at Ambition Babes. For some reason, it was just like everything was aligning, and even those handles were all available for us.
Yeah.
And then ambitionbabes.com is our website. And yeah, just super stoked to connect with more of you guys, and just watching more of Catherine's journey and seeing all the other students go through it. It's pretty cool getting to hear, being in that graduate group, getting to hear how people continued to elevate their lives and see more success. It's inspiring.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Carly, so much for being my guinea pig. I think you did an amazing, incredible job. You guys, if anything Carly mentioned today on this podcast episode that resonated with you, if you had a breakthrough moment, an aha moment, or if you're someone who is deciding to enroll inside of Rich Babe Academy because of Carly, please take a screenshot of this episode right now and tag us both. So at Ambition Babes and at Manifestation Babe, and let us know, because we want to connect with you. We want to hear from you. And I want to make sure that Carly knows that she's made an impact in your life as well. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Mwah. Bye. All right, you guys, you heard it from Carly. If you are still on the fence of Rich Babe Academy, ask yourself what your higher self would do and make a new decision from the version of yourself who has already mastered money mindset. Rich Babe Academy is officially open and closing in just a few days. And again, this is the very last round of 2019. That means once it's closed, you'll have to wait an entire year before you have a chance to enroll inside again. Make 2020 your most abundant year yet by saying yes to your future self. All of the deets, investment options, and the enrollment link is available at richbabeacademy.com, or simply see the link in the show notes. Cannot wait to see you there. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following at Manifestation Babe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.